Hey guys, it's Empress, and I already know, it's been too long, but this is life, right? Man, prayer's still up for our girl Madonna. I'm hearing things, y'all hear things. Some people saying, it's from surgery. Some people saying it's like the flu. Some people saying like it's a flex, like the tour ain't ready. We don't know, but what we do know is we here and we still in that erotica era. Let's get to it.
It's more than a statement, it's a way of life. Celebration. The Miss Jessie talking.
Alright guys, so on this journey it's been crazy because it's always like, I don't know, some kind of the present aligns with the past. And how ironic is a documentary, shout out to my guy Chris, he sent this over to me. How ironic is the documentary that we're about to watch? It's called 9 Lives, the story of Madonna's sex book in Erotica, right? It's like, we know Madonna to have 9 lives in this situation. This is one of those, situations we're hoping and praying that those 9 lives come through, right? So anyway, y'all know I got slow internet. Don't do too much in the comments. Y'all know I have to break this up in increments, but it's okay. All right, let's watch some. Shout out to the MLVC podcast. I was on it like a year, almost 2 years ago. The link to the podcast is below. Those guys was great. I see they had something to do with the narration, so this is awesome. And then also shout out to this page. Never knew it existed, but it sounds lit, bitch. She's Madonna. All right, let's go.
Everyone's sexuality is a big part of their life. You can't deny it. And some people are in touch with it and some people aren't. Some people are afraid of it and some people aren't. But it's what makes everybody who they are. Being in touch with your sexuality and your sensuality is a good thing and not something to be ashamed of.
Having earned a reputation for pushing boundaries throughout her career with her overtly sexual and provocative image, by the year 1992, Madonna had accomplished what her many detractors had said the entertainer could never achieve: staying power.
And that's right? Like in my high school analogy, right? It was like, for years, even during the Like a Prayer era, right? People was still, I feel like, doubting, like, Madonna, she something, but she ain't an artist. But I feel like by the Blind Ambition tour, Vogue, it was solidified. She was solid, and everybody wanted to be on her team. If they didn't want to admit in the past, there was a minute then, like, oh yeah, Madonna's solid. All right, let's go. Yep, we've seen all this.
I think that sexuality is something that Americans would really rather just sweep up under the rug.
1992 also marked the height of the AIDS crisis.
Yo, drop the comments down below. Are y'all watching that Rock Hudson documentary that's on Prime? I'm gonna check it out. Y'all know I love old movies, and y'all know I love Dynasty, so I'm definitely gonna check it out. Anyway, let's go.
With annual deaths on the increase and still no cure for this devastating disease.
What's even bigger than the AIDS epidemic, what's even more frightening, is the fear that this plague has given birth to.
Fear and blame was still largely directed at the gay community, and homophobia was commonplace in conservative America.
It doesn't matter to me who the next president is if they don't change 11 years of government neglect of this epidemic.
The United States was gearing up for a presidential election, one that was notable for an attempt to emphasize family values.
It's one of the few diseases where behavior matters. If the behavior you're using prone to cause AIDS, change the behavior.
Current President, Republican George Bush, would go head-to-head with the Democratic candidate Bill Clinton, with America going to the polls on November 3rd of that year.
I'm going to vote.
Madonna, on the other hand, was also...
That's how the billboards look in y'all cities. Right? That's wild. Let's go. Not to go too.
This is a very conservative time in America, as you know. And basically, you're at the forefront of reviving a discussion of sexual discussion. Why would you choose to do that at this time?
Yo, I am not a fan of this look. Okay, all right, let's go.
Because it's the best time. Are you afraid of alienating any of your viewers? No. Why not, though? Because what I say is true. But the thing is you have to admit, in the 60s and 70s, there was a big feeling about sexual, freedom, and now there's not. Because everyone's afraid. And I'm telling them not to be afraid.
My name is Nita. I'll be your mistress tonight. I'd like to put you in a trance.
It's a particularly moralistic time in America at the moment, so why have you decided to release such a risque video now?
Because it's a particularly moralistic time in America, it didn't make me sit back and say, oh, I better not do this now. People aren't going to be very accepting of it. Actually, a lot of the things that I deal with in my music and in the book is in particular with the repression that's going on in America right now. So I think that the timing is very good.
So to what extent do you think that a video like this promotes tolerance to sexual diversity?
To what extent? I really don't know. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of really narrow-minded people, so if I can change the way that 1/100th of them thinks, then I've accomplished something, and I really can't predict how far-reaching that would be. You know, how many people I would change and how much tolerance would grow out of what the messages that I've put forth in the music.
The fantasies in this clip are of bondage, domination, and submission. Some people have no objection to such role-playing games as long as they're consensual. Others find such practices repellent, which is why MTV is not airing this video in regular daytime or evening rotation.
I want to get
That I'm not surprised by. I that's one of those situations where I don't feel like this video should have been on daytime either. Little kids. I want baby Empress coming home from kindergarten erotic. I'd be wait till you get older.
an insight, if I can, into why you made it, when you must have known that quite a few of the recognized broadcasters around the world won't show it.
Because that's how I visualize the song. When I close my eyes and I think of the song and I think of what's erotic to me, that's what I see.
That's
and
brave.
TV plays to a huge audience, and a lot of them are children, and a lot of the themes that I'm exploring in my videos aren't meant for children. So I understand that they say they can't show it, and I accept it.
I'm rich, bitch, and I can miss some coin and still be okay at this point, right? You know what I mean? Again, the older in season artists become, the more they can, say, I'm not doing this for the money. Really, I can do it for the art, so to speak.
I accept it.
People don't have to like it, but they should be tolerant of it. There's nothing wrong with it. There are plenty of people who enjoy these things, who see life this way, who are sexually or sensually aroused by these things, and people shouldn't be considered bad or shameful for having these thoughts or feelings.
There's one problem, isn't there, that people might believe that you're representing yourselves, that this is reality. Doesn't that make you a bit worried?
No. Even if I did experience all those things,
yes.
People thought that I was into S&M, that I liked to sleep with women, that I did this, that I did that. Who cares? It doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. I'm still a good person. And what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter what a person's sexual preference is. As long as you're not hurting anybody, there's nothing wrong with anything that anybody does. And I'm saying, so what?
Romance. I like to put you in a trance.
Erotica. Romance.
Picture. So this was like a Lolita type of photo shoot.
It's great. Really,
Not they selling the gold too.
I'm angry about the sexism in this world. I'm angry about racism. I'm angry about homophobia. I'm angry about the injustices of life. And I challenge people's ideas about them. And I think that the political message is organic in the things that I do. They're kind of cute, actually. I think you should put it on your head. How close is the close-up?
The tension mounts as the world awaits publication day for Madonna's book called Sex, the most outrageous act of...
I don't know. For some reason, it feels like the Blind Ambition era and Erotica are like maybe like years apart, but really they wasn't, right? Like, is that how y'all felt in real time? It comes down below.
A mainstream star in history.
With Madonna's latest blitz, it is on with a new book and a new album. And last night, the Material Girls coming out party was the hottest ticket in town.
A week before Sex hit the shelves, the book was brought to life at its infamous invite-only launch party on Lower Manhattan's West Side. With 800 guests in attendance, the guest of honor, Madonna, arrived at the BDSM-themed event dressed as Little Bo Peep.
Do you think that she could ever go too far?
Can never go too far.
I
I think it's wonderful. She pushes the boundaries. She always crosses the line. Then the line gets farther. She crosses it again.
Thank God somebody's showing you that you don't have to be scared about sex. And I think that's what she's saying is great.
Yeah, I mean, Madonna, that's her job.
800 of Madonna's closest friends were invited to this event, which inside is being called a voyeuristic delight. But unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, no cameras were allowed inside. However, knowing Madonna, we probably couldn't show you any of it on TV anyway.
There was a peep show where you had to look through a little hole in the wall.
There's a lot of scantily clad people in leather with various sexual objects doing obscene things to each other.
It's kind of bizarre.
My name is Ivy.
She's Ivy.
I understand you're in the book, right? Yeah, she's seen it.
Oh, there's Nikki and Louise.
Did you bear all, Naomi?
Don't bear.
You'll see if you buy it.
Why do you think Americans so uptight? I don't know. Vote for Clinton.
After I wrote Justify My...
Vote for Clinton. All right, so on that note, we're going to pause it and I'm going to upload it. And y'all going to drop some comments down below and tell me what y'all think up until this part of the documentary. I don't need like a whole synopsis right now, but because again, breaking down in increments. But I mean, so far, shout out to Chris again for sending this over. It's setting the mood right of again, especially in the beginning, and especially with us just coming out of Pride Month, it's setting that beginning of like, okay, the AIDS epidemic and how basically in the 90s, like I feel like I didn't even realize how dire the situation was in the 90s. I'm thinking like, oh, you know what I mean? Like the dire situation where people like are literally dying like minute by minute was like in the 80s. I'm thinking about the 90s, things then got better, but I guess not. All right, anyway, drop the comments down below. Also, if y'all not already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you are subscribed, make sure you join the channel. And if y'all hear a lot of like movement going around, that's me and more my husky, right? She's getting on my nerves right now. But anyway, drop the comments down below. All right, guys, I hope everybody's out there feeling good, staying safe, and I will see you guys next time.